On this week's Throwdown, we have Apricot Alessandra and Coconut Cow demo the workout.
We've got overhead squats, squat snatches, power clean and jerks, and squat cleans. We release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at 1 p.m.
Was that your Mia voice? Because it was
Kind
basically
of.
the same.
Yeah.
Same your normal voice.
I tried. I got nervous.
Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're on our road to 35K subscribers. And when we hit that milestone, we're going to give away a Black Zinc Rogue 2.0 barbell. Let us know your strategy for this workout in the comments below. That comment is what's going to enter you into the giveaway. Once we reach that 35,000 subscriber milestone, we'll use a random YouTube comment generator on one of these videos where we promoted the giveaway to draw a worldwide winner for that bar. So all you got to do is be subscribed and comment below to enter.
Welcome back to the Throwdown. We're on week 6 of 7 of our semifinal style workouts. Mia, what's the workout? This week's workout is 20 overhead squats, 15 squat snatches, 10 power clean and jerks, and 5 squat cleans. Better, Brandon?
A+. If you want to sign up for the leaderboard, check the description down below and click that link. Also, down below, you will find movement standards, a warm-up, and a scaled version of this workout.
And remember, stay tuned until the end of the Throwdown video. In this episode, I will talk about how to scale the weights if these weights are too heavy for you to turn over into Metcon, and some keys to performance for higher level athletes. And use this hashtag if you... What does she normally say? If you do the workout on Instagram, use that hashtag so we can share or comment on your video. This week's demos are Alessandra Pacelli and Carolina 𝐒𝐿, both of whom are competing in semifinals. Cal in the Atlas Games and Alessandra in Granite Games. Let's go see their strategies.
So my strategy, I was thinking about this last night, and so the reps start at 20 and go down to 5, and the weight goes up, so starts at 95 and finishes at 195 pounds. So I was thinking that I would most likely do the 20 overhead squats unbroken because that's a lighter weight. And then right from the start of the squat snatches, I'm just gonna go all singles and try to just set up really fast and not waste time in between, because I think, by the last squat cleans, it's gonna get heavy. And well, for me, 135 squat snatch, sure, might be able to link it, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. So I'm just gonna go with singles and see how it goes.
What's the station that plays all the hits?
Oh, from where I'm from? I don't know. All I remember growing up as a child was like in Canada, Kiss 98.5.
My strategy is to go unbroken on the overhead squats and then singles on everything else after that.
And what's the station that plays all the hits, Cal?
105.7.
3, 2, 1, You should know this by now. All right, 20 overhead squats.
So this workout, I think, is going to be strategically very similar for a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a matter of, are you able to cycle the heavier barbells fast enough? And these, a lot of times, are in-person style workouts where you have some of these lighter buy-ins or, some sort of a progressive ladder. We might not see weight changes that frequently, but there was the regional workout with the snatch ladder where we had the 10-8-6-4-2 and they had to do all their own changes. So both of them unbroken in about 30 seconds. I think that's going to be pretty quick in terms of turning over squat speed.
For semifinal athletes, which is what this was written for, almost everyone would go unbroken on the overhead squats. I think that's a good strategy. If you're in person, you do want to kind of get a feel for that first barbell so that you can race towards the end, but you also can't blow up. The kind of point, though, that I would make is if you are changing all your own weights, let that be part of the strategy for you and actually practice that. I know that sounds crazy, but getting good at taking weights off and on helps a ton if you're in an in-person competition.
Yeah, it actually gave Sandra about a 1-rep edge right there. Oh, Cal just missed that lift. I'm not sure what happened. Took off her belt.
And Sandra?
Yeah, so some of these reps, I definitely would say, were not the most technically precise, and I know some of the depth may be questionable on Cal's perspective, but it's hard to tell from this angle for sure. But I think that's just something to be mindful of as you're doing these in-person style workouts. You're trying to go as quickly as possible and try to skirt that line, but if you skirt the line and you get no reps, it ends up being super costly on a workout that has this few total reps in it.
Yeah, I think that this is a really good thing to practice for those that are doing in-person competitions, because the way that you lift with someone else versus the way that you, even if it's for time, 10 squat snatches for time by yourself, usually you're a little bit more patient, you're probably a little bit more precise by yourself. So learning how to go fast but also still be precise is very important in the sport. And like you said, both of them missed, so that was an advantage to both of them, so they didn't lose time. But if you're the only person that misses, you're talking about a 5 or 6 second loss in one rep, and that can be costly.
Yeah, I think too the speed of turnover of this bar, it slows down as you go through it. And this bar will be relatively heavy for females. You're looking at 2 of the stronger females in the sport. Sandra might be a little bit more technical with the Olympic lifts and a little bit more consistent with snatching specifically. And Cal would be like more hip dominated and just a little bit overall absolutely stronger. But very similar 1RMs in snatching. And I think when Cal's trying to go quick here, some of those reps, you know, could just skirt the line a little bit. It's something to be mindful of what your tendencies are when you're getting ready for in-person competitions and trying to train them out so that way you limit any unnecessary risk.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing I would think about too, because you mentioned this, like Cal's maybe not as comfortable with the higher volume snatching, but she's really good at, let's say, overhead squatting at lighter loads and then also squat cleans, which are coming up. So think about that in your strategy. Which piece of this workout do I want to take advantage of? Maybe it's the clean and jerks. Maybe it is a squat snatches. So like for me, I'd much rather do the squat snatches fast and then slow myself down for, let's say, the clean and jerks, whereas maybe for them, they want to go a little bit faster here. So that's also a strategy you could have.
Yeah, I think the separation in terms of total time is going to be generally when the weights get heavier.
For
so
sure.
I think this set of 10 and then the next set of 5 is really where you're going to see more separation from people, and that's probably where I'd put my focus on. The only thing you can really do that, though, if your plan is to go unbroken in that first set of overhead squats, is to kind of moderate the pace of the squat snatches and figure out, you know, what your cadence is to get here and go a little bit faster.
You can see the first couple of reps were really fast, and then this is where it starts to hit you, like Max said. Obviously, as the weight goes up, the first couple may feel good, but then it gets heavy quick.
Yeah, and a power clean and jerk, too, is just a really high power movement.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically 2 powerful contractions in one, and I think as you start to get tired, they start to, you know, really get difficult.
Yeah. Even in this setting, I really like the idea of, like, in my mind, I'm doing cluster sets. So what I mean by that is like 1.1, then a longer rest, 1.1, and then a longer rest, and then make it to 10 that way. It just like for my mental game, it allows me to say, hey, I just have 2 on the plate, and then I'm gonna step back. That may be one option that if you guys are doing this workout that you can try to do.
Yeah.
And knocking over the shot.
Yeah.
Come on, Cal.
Yeah, it's actually something to take into consideration too. If this were an actual in-person competition, you generally have a lifting lane.
Yeah.
So you have a 4 foot by 6 foot little lane that you have to keep feet in. We didn't set a very strict standard, and you know the lifts just kept going to get a little bit more twisted as a result of the bar bouncing. In a competition, it'd probably be competition plates and not just adding 10s the whole time, or if the 10s would be smaller so they wouldn't increase the sideways bounce when it hit. So it's not a perfect situation. If you're setting yours up, you know, that's something maybe take into consideration, that you just have a space where, okay, my feet have to be in here when I'm lifting. But they're both finishing that set of 10 at around the same time, and now this is really the crux of the workout for a lot of people. This is where, you know, the weight's gonna get heavy and maybe, you know, at near somebody's limit in terms of total load.
You'll notice there before we talk about the squat cleans that Cal actually caught up on the clean and jerks, which I think was part of her strategy, but then Sandra was much faster putting the weights on. So again, that comes into your strategy when you're talking about in-person competitions. Get ahead and then you can kind of race.
Yeah, and now you could see, you saw Sandra stand that one up and it was a little bit slower, and Cal's squat speed is still pretty high. So here is where Cal's just overall absolute strength. You know, she hit 300 pounds in the forearm front squat versus Sandra hit 260. So just like the overall leg strength in a lift like this just makes a little bit of a difference. Or maybe front rack positioning, just a combo of those.
Cal was in the top 10% of all males as a female, which is just super impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, last few lifts. I mean, this is really where absolute strength does come in. Standing up out of the bottom, you can see how much easier it was for Cal.
Yeah, not very comfortable, but Cal just finished there at 619. I think Sandra has 1 lift left. Here.
Get set up.
And
good lift.
grind it out.
Way to grind
Definitely
it.
very difficult.
Nice
635.
job,
Very well done.
Those are fast times.
Yes.
Good luck beating that.
All right, so strategy on this workout is a little bit more simple than some of the other throwdowns because it's all barbell, and a lot of people will be limited by their overall weight or their overall ability to move the weight of that specific movement. So as scaling options, I use these as approximate percentages relative to the 1RMs of athletes doing this workout. If you're an intermediate athlete, scale the loading. My recommendation, 40% of your 1RM for overhead squat, 65% of your 1RM for the snatch, 73% of your 1RM for the power clean and jerk, 83% of your 1RM for the squat clean. If you want to make it a little bit easier for weight changes, you can kind of just be anywhere in that range, let's say plus 1 or 2%, so that way you're somewhere near a round number, and that way you can make your weight changes a little bit more easy and not have to pull off a lot of weights or put on fractionals to get to your number. That will still give you the same style of stimulus as some of the elite athletes doing this. Instead of just going through 2 barbells and then getting time capped, you actually have the ability to do the same type of workout as them within your realm of capacity. For RX and elite athletes, you need to take advantage of speed on the lighter loads. You need to take advantage of setup speed. So on the squat snatch and on the power clean and jerk specifically, 1 extra second of putting your hand on, putting your other hand on, resting your head down, and then getting set up on each one of the reps on a workout this short is probably going to be the difference between dictating a really good score and a less than good score. So be mindful of that. Also, as you saw with Kalarina, she moved around a lot. Alessandra was a little bit more in place, but she had a little bit of bar deviation. Really try to work on staying in place. I know that's hard with barbells with bouncy plates, so that might mean you either need to set it up with appropriate plates or take the barbell and ride it down to the ground and push it into the floor to stop any sideways deviation and stop you from having to walk over and pull your bar into the center. A lot of times if you're at competitions, you'll have a very narrow lane. If you step out of it, they give you a no rep on a workout with this few reps. Those no reps are super costly, so try not to get them. Finally, be efficient with your weight changes. Generally, I would say do your weight changes as fast as you possibly can, because then afterwards you can take a second to kind of recompose yourself and catch your breath. It's really hard to do that in that bent over crouch position when you're putting plates on and off. That's all we got for strategy. Project Pat's gonna sign us off. I'll see you next week with the throwdown.
Can't wait to read the text she's gonna send you.
I'm blaming it all on Chris.
She gonna be pissed. She gonna be pissed.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.